when it comes to the silver screen, very few items have as much significance to the plot as a car. And, well, there are entire car chase genres near enough. So I'm going to take a look back through the movie industry and see what is the best car in a film. And we start off with this. The Annis R32. This is an icon. It was the predecessor to the RH8 Elegy, the classic Elegy we have here. But it's been rather modified, as you can quite clearly tell. And I'm not just talking about the neon underglow and the silver paint. No, this has been a bigger turbo has been added, as well as a more complex all-wheel drive system, meaning we have over 600 horsepower on tap. And let's have some fun, shall we? And you see, it actually handles. That's the most impressive thing. Is you see, in the movie industry, we have a hero car, and then we have stunt cars. A stunt car has. A stunt car can't do that. First off, this is a hero car. Though. This is an actual one that the actor drove, and it's kept around for demonstration purposes. It's 100% original, as featured in the movie. So this has proper air conditioning still, and an actual functional rear wing. This thing is bloody fast. Made from these furiously fast films in like 2003 or something like that. This is the this is the icon of tuning culture right here. This is one of the most iconic cars of the franchise, and it is absolutely incredible. Not just to look at, and it is visually stunning. That's the whole point of the film. But in terms of raw speed, you wouldn't expect this out of a car from a blockbuster film. At least like the real car in real life, not in the movie. This... It's wonderful. It's wonderful to drive. It's very fast, accelerating. It's a beautiful machine, inside and out. On the subject of beautiful machinery, you can't get much more beautiful than Pegassi. This is the Torero, I think is how you pronounce it, and it is beautiful and magnificent. Used in a cross-country road trip movie, this 500 horsepower V12 powered supercar was one of the fastest cars ever made, and they used in a pretty dramatic highway chase at the beginning of the film, so let's see if I can bring some of that movie magic back to life. God, I love the sound of a V12. This is freaking fast. With 100 miles an hour. I see, there's no question as to why this vehicle was able to outrun the crummy 1980s police cars, because this was, at the time, the fastest car in the world. And that noise, this is the 80s supercar. This is the 80s supercar. You know, lots of fire, lots of noise, big old wedge shape, many millions of dollars, and probably some used cocaine in here somewhere. This is the car of the 80s. I love it. I love it to death. But nothing is as freaky or as intimidating as the American car. Now I say American with a bit of an asterisk because this was actually used in an Australian movie from the 1970s, and they used an American car for it, the Imponte Dukes. They named it the Dukes of Death on set. And you can see why. Whoa! Not only does it kill people around it, it kills people inside it. It has 850 brake horsepower from a supercharged V8, all going to the rear wheels. And that bulb on the front, well, it doesn't really stop for anything. It weighs about as much as a mountain because it's armor plated. It has enough torque to move a medium-sized aircraft carrier, and you can kind of just push everything out of the way. Like, small building, over there you go. We have an SUV, I think, coming up. Just gonna knock that out of the way. Doesn't really care. Car's in the way. Again, it doesn't really matter because I'm in the Dukes of Death. Hybrid, get out of here. This is... You feel about 15 times more powerful than you actually should feel in this vehicle, because I can just kind of sideswipe this guy. It feels like you're in a tank, but the tank is rear-wheel drive with 850 horsepower and goes 175 miles an hour. Rumor has it that could withstand a missile shot. This, though, certainly cannot withstand a RPG missile, because it's quite possibly one of the most beautiful cars ever featured in the history of cinema. The 1962 Grotti Stinger GT. They actually had a real one on set, and it's valued nowadays at $25 million. A $25 million car was used in a movie, an actual one. And now, it's going to be used here on this track because they would not let me drive it on the road. Now immediately, I'm noticing a fair bit of understeer in the car, primarily because it is from, again, 1962, and they focused a lot on the interior. It's a Grand Tour, it's got a convertible, it's got a nice, perfectly wooden dashboard, and it is, despite appearances, rather heavy, you know. It is a bit understeery. It is quite a bit understeery. And then you get on some loose tarmac, and then whoa! Lots of understeer followed by mild oversteer. It is not a particularly good driving combination. Yeah, it's a bit unwieldy, but it could go 150 miles an hour in 1962 because of the aerodynamics. And at the end of the day, it is a Grotti, a classic Grotti. It can do no wrong. It has the engine noise, it has the looks, it has that finesse, that Italian finesse, that Italian beauty. I know it drives like crap, but in a way, it's one of the better driving cars in the world. It's very weird. It's like it's gonna be the movie scene. I can see it. Movie scene coming up. Here we go. There you go, yeah. Well, that's... Is it unwieldy? Yes. Do I particularly care? No, because at the end of the day, you step out of the car, and you look at that. And that is styling for the ages. However, at the end of the day, there's only one movie car that can truly withstand the test of time. Because it's the only movie car in the world that can bend time. This is the Deluxo. The car that nearly bankrupted the company that made it. It did bankrupt the person who made it. And might have been built during a war. Yeah. It had a troubled life, the Deluxo. It had no power. It did have a suspension designed by some of the greatest minds in Europe, and it had it was a French engine and a American design, a British chassis, and what could possibly go wrong with that? Everything. No, for God's sake, this thing doesn't handle worth crap. I know I said the suspension was designed by some of the best minds in Europe. Clearly, they were on their day off when they made this suspension. This is one of the worst handling slow cars I've ever seen. There's slow cars, which are, good. But then there's this thing, and look at it, it's like a little boat. The suspension wobble is... you can see it from space. How much wobble there is in the suspension, then you try and drift it, and I'm around. This thing is garbage. But most importantly of all, it's iconic garbage. I mean, one of the best movies ever made, this was the star car, and what's so wrong with that?